Just that, ball is handed to Trap. Going around the corner is caught for the nape of the neck by Dat Nguyen. He is a Vietnamese linebacker out of Rockport, Texas, 6'1", 213.
Dat Nguyen, a 5'11" linebacker who stood tall among the giants when middle linebackers ruled the league.
And he was stopped. Looked like he hit a maroon wall.
Bang! Right there.
Dat was the exception. His godly instincts was legendary. Dat made a name off of having the ability to expose plays before they formed.
Dat Nguyen, one of the outstanding linebackers in college football. Everybody knows about him. He finds the ball. He makes plays.
When you snapped the ball, it was fun. That 4 seconds, that everything froze.
Get the play. I think he was mic'd up for the play. And he started screaming out, screen pass, screen pass. And it was.
And I think that's where the game of football sold me, was that 4 seconds.
He said that Donovan was calling timeout because Dat was calling the plays.
Before Sean Lee, there was Dat Nguyen, a legendary linebacker who defied the odds.
That as I watch Dat Nguyen, my hope for him is that he will be the exception to the rule.
Dat Nguyen, a Texas icon. On the 2nd of August 1964, North Vietnamese boats attacked a U.S. Navy destroyer in the Gulf of Tonkin. In response, President Lyndon Johnson waged war on North Vietnam. The first major contingent of U.S. Marines arrived in 1965. For the next 8 years, the USA's involvement increased. Vietnam became a war zone and a political stronghold. By 1973, President Nixon pulled out of Vietnam.
That we today have concluded an agreement to end the war and bring peace with honor in Vietnam.
In order to escape a communist regime, millions of Vietnamese citizens fled the country. One of those families was Dat Nguyen's. In 1975, the Nguyen family lived in a small Christian village named Binh Dai during the communist regime. Seeking refuge in the middle of the night, traveling through swamps on a fishing boat, they fled away with 2 other boats who also had refugees. Dat was a 4-month unborn baby. In the midst of bombs hitting around them, Dat's parents, his 5 siblings, and 8 other families who shared the boat were the only ones to escape. Unfortunately, the other 2 boats sunk.
People don't want to live under the communist regime. They'll go to extreme measures to try to get away.
The Nguyen's made it to America. Dat was born 4 months later at a refugee camp in Fort Chaffee, Arkansas. They finally settled down in Rockport, Texas. Dat fell in love with American football. In high school, he became one of the best linebackers in the country. In his senior year, he had 188 tackles. He was awarded the district's best player of the year. He was one of the most sought-out players in the state of Texas. Dat was recruited by Michigan, UCLA, Notre Dame, Texas, and Florida. In 1995, Dat chose to attend Texas A&M University. In the 80s and 90s, Texas A&M had dominant defenses called the Wrecking Crew.
So when we talk about, when you're doing an interview and talking about our defense, instead of saying our defense, let's talk about the Wrecking Crew.
As a born and raised Texas kid, Dat just wanted to be a part of the legendary unit. The issue was he was an overweight 5'11" linebacker. According to his coach, if he didn't lose weight, he had no chance of even playing in his first season of eligibility. What I've learned in my research on Dat Nguyen, whenever he had an obstacle in front of him, he dominated. He thrived on doubt. Dat went back home and transformed his body into a machine. Coaches couldn't believe the transformation. Even after the weight loss, Dat knew that he had no chances of starting. In front of Dat was a promising linebacker named Trent Drive. All Dat wanted to do was at least be good enough to make the second string unit. But within a few weeks, a turn of events happened that would change the course of Texas A&M history. Trent Drive unfortunately rolled up his ankle in practice. This injury immediately pushed Dat up the ranks. All of the workouts that he had put in over the months, the film study, all of the preparations were for this moment right here. Dat went from wondering whether or not he was going to be placed on the second string defense or really not even knowing if he was going to play at all, to now starting as the middle linebacker on the historic legendary Wrecking Crew defense. The young kid from Texas didn't disappoint. In his first few games, he showed promise, but it was a game against SMU where he dominated.
Garrett Canine. Canine starts at quarterback, and he has had playing experience this year. They'll go on the ground to Womack. There's a flag down. He's caught back at the 25. They'll lose 3 on the first play. Cooper went in motion left. Now goes back to the right. Pitch it. Back to the left. Goes to Womack again. Big crowd of people at the 22, and he goes down in that pile. Dat Nguyen led the Aggie tackling. Running backs. It's a light eye. Womack, 6-yard line. Harmon and Womack, the running backs, goes to Harmon. Harmon on the left side, wrapped up. Reggie Brown, Dat Nguyen, Pat Williams, all on that tackle. The quarterback this season. Canine's done a great job here in this first half. They're going to throw a screen out here to the right. Caught, and there's a flag down. I think they're going to get SMU for a clip.
It was his breakout game. In 1995, Dat was explosive in ways that we haven't seen from a Texas A&M first-year starter, maybe ever.
And who else? Dat Nguyen makes the tackle.
By the end of the year, he was named Southwest Conference Defensive Newcomer of the Year. If you thought he was explosive in 95, he was even better in 96. By 1997, Dat was a 2-time first-team All-Big 12 honors and was widely considered as one of the best linebackers in college football. In 1997, Dat put together one of the most impressive seasons in Texas A&M history. In the game versus Louisiana, Dat was like Nostradamus. He predicted their plays all game long.
Today's matchup against Southwestern Louisiana is not a revenge game for Texas A&M. They're sure not saying much about that, but you know one thing, R.C. Slocum, the Aggies head coach, has shown his team this cover. It's the cover of the USL Media Guide, and it's plain and simple. It reads USL 29, Texas A&M 22, a picture of last year's stunning upset.
On 1st and 10. Drive.
Hey, baby! Hey, baby! We're going to be here all day! We're going to be here all day, baby!
Oh, is he hit hard by Dat Nguyen.
I like this kind of party!
But he reminds me of Mike Singletary. He has a nose for the ball.
He's going to be dropped.
He diagnosed that play the whole way.
4 tackles for a loss this afternoon for the young linebacker. Saturday afternoon in College Station, Texas. 5.5 left to play in the third quarter.
Counter the whole way. He shuffled down the line of scrimmage and made the play.
In the third quarter, Elvis Joseph dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Dat Nguyen again on the tackle, his 5th tackle for a loss this afternoon.
You know, he really does remind me of Mike Singletary. You know, in size, stature, demeanor, a quiet young man, but just plays with reckless abandon on the field and has a great smile.
Dat had to know the playbook because his football IQ in dissecting plays was something that I've never seen out of a college football player. The reason why we keep seeing Dat in the backfield is because he's reading the plays. This is not by accident. Dat was literally one of the greatest defensive readers in the history of college football. I think what was so underrated about Dat's game in college was his playmaking abilities. He was always around the ball. By the end of 1997, he was named Aggies MVP and received his 3rd All-Big 12 honors in a row. But it didn't stop there. In 1998, Dat put together a season for the ages. In the game versus Kansas, he was again all over the field.
To rock a bit behind the fast feet of David Winbush, but the Wrecking Crew defense may have other ideas. Preseason All-American Dat Nguyen needs just 50 tackles to become the Aggies' all-time leader. But the Vietnamese American has accomplished something greater. He's captured the admiration and respect of his teammates, peers, and community. As the Todd throws it in coverage, picked off by Dat Nguyen, the All-American, inside the 10-yard line. You talk about a big play early by a big playmaker. They're in motion. Here's Bowles again, and Dat Nguyen got penetration.
He's not big, but he is like a heat-seeking missile, has good instincts, bad intentions.
Dat Nguyen finishes him off about 5 yards shy of where he needed to get.
Dat Nguyen does not miss. That's one of his strengths, pursuit and deadly tackling.
And he's going to lose a couple. That's a sack. Second of the day. And it is Bernard and also number 9 always around the guy with the football. Knox is with one of the defensive players of the game. He always is. Dat Nguyen.
Dat Nguyen, wherever it is, wherever the ball is, you are there. Interception today, the big recovery on the punt in which it knocked off a Kansas player. You recover. What is it? Are you a magnet drawn to the ball?
No, I was just lucky. I was lucky and I was fortunate to be in the right position at the right time.
Dat led Texas A&M to the second-ranked defense in the country.
And the wrecking crew held the Nebraska rushing offense to 141 yards.
The fans are loving it. The coaches are loving it. The whole stadium is shaking.
In 1998, he was named as a unanimous All-American, won the Benoric Award for College Defensive Player of the Year, and the Lombardi Award for Outstanding College Lineman.
Only made in America kind of thing. I think a lot of people relate to you, how you've done it.
Well, it seems like every time I do anything, it seems like I overcome another obstacle. Through my career, I've been doing that through my life.
Dat was also elected as a finalist for the Buckers Award, eventually becoming first runner-up. Dat missed winning the Buckers Award by a single vote out of more than 45 votes cast. It remains to date the closest vote in Buckers Award history. In 1998, Dat played in the Cotton Bowl where he dominated, a fitting end to a legendary college career. Dat had a bowl record, 12 tackles, including 3 tackles for a loss, and an interception. A few weeks later, Texas A&M won the Big 12 championship game against Kansas State, which is to date their last conference title.
10 at the 5, he is almost, he got a touchdown! He got a touchdown! And a touchdown! He got it in!
He was named Big 12 Male Athlete of the Year, and he earned Defensive Player of the Year honors in the Big 12 Conference. He also won the Jack Lambert Award. Dat ended his college career as one of the greatest linebackers in college history. In 1999, Dallas selected Dat in the 3rd round of the NFL draft.
That as I watch Dat Nguyen, my hope for him is that he will be the exception to the rule.
Well, it was neat. It was awesome. Just coaches showing us around, meeting the people, meeting the players, meeting the whole coaching staff.
Dat made an immediate impact. He led the team in special teams tackles. After Randall Godfrey left free agency, Dat took over as the starting middle linebacker and became an immediate sensation. In 2000, he had 64 tackles in just 5 starts. 2001, Dat played out of his mind.
They're trying to get the defense up so they can leak to the outside and have somebody open.
Fake to McCreary. Great cut inside.
Actually find where Doug's planning on going.
For the Chargers in motion. Tomlinson the call. O'Reilly Roundtree block. And again, they're stuck in the middle. Not much there. Brandon Noble's on top of the pile. But Dat Nguyen was the one to shoot through.
From week 7 to week 10, he had 37 tackles. 37 tackles in 4 weeks. He ended the season with over 100 tackles and 9 tackles for losses. In 2003, Parcells brought his 34 defense to the Cowboys. The scheme was different from Zimmer's 43 defense. Unlike the Cowboys' previous coach Dave Campo, Parcells wanted big traditional linebackers. In his first year, Jones failed to give him the personnel that he wanted, so he used what he had. To compensate for having small linebackers like Dat Nguyen or Dexter Coakley, which is another Cowboys legend, he used Roy Williams and Woodson around the box in the flex position. He played a lot of man coverage with Newman and Edwards on the outside. Parcells used Willie Blade as the starting defensive tackle. Blade was a 315-pound monster who Dallas drafted in 2001 but didn't play that season and was cut in 2002. Parcells signed him back in 2003. He and Glover helped free up Coakley and Nguyen, and that is when Coakley and Dat took over the lead.
Throws. It's intercepted at the 45 by Dexter Coakley.
Top 23-6, 1st and 10 for Cincinnati. And the pass intercepted. Picked off on the play by Dat Nguyen.
One thing that you do not want to try and do against the Dallas Cowboys is run sideline to sideline. Dexter Coakley is about as fast a linebacker as there is in football. Dat Nguyen can run pretty well too. But when you start trying to go out around the side, even with the guy as speedy as Warwick Dunn, those guys are going to get you.
Backfield here on 3rd and long, and this pass. 4 Cowboys touched it. Dat Nguyen.
The two tandem linebackers ended up having one of the best years of their careers. Dat Nguyen was brilliant that year. He was like Nostradamus.
It's a heck of a block on Terrence Newman there.
Keep it on the ground to Curtis Martin, and Martin. Pass is tipped and intercepted by Nguyen. A penalty flag comes down.
He had 11 tackles for losses, 2 sacks, and had over 120 tackles. With Dat leading the team in tackles, the Cowboys were the second most effective defense in the league, and he was selected second team All-Pro by the Associated Press. Dat is one of a few linebackers who led the team in tackles in both the 43 and 34 defenses. Dat Nguyen, in just 84 games, had 400 tackles, 38 tackles for losses, and 7 interceptions. When you think about Dat, he was a football guy from Texas who played like every play was his last. A football savant who was made from the same cloth as a Mike Singletary or a Sean Lee. He wasn't just a great football player, he was an even better man, a man of faith and a man of men. Dat Nguyen, thank you for all of the memories. Until next time, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And as always, thanks for watching.